The little boy from Rosario will soon crumble football giants. At 16, Leo humiliated the senior Barcelona team. We knew then he was different. A freak, said Xavi, a Barcelona legend. Messi played his first official match at 17 versus Albacete, where he scored his first official goal assisted by Ronaldo. The first goal was ruled offside. Leo repeated the same whole thing and scored again. His celebration, nothing flashy, hardly a smile, a silent warrior. Despite his early show of talent, people doubted and criticized. Too small, too fragile, too quiet to be a leader. He was seen as a mere backup. People focused on the other stars like Ronaldo, Henry, and Eto'o. They thought he was just a bench warmer. People hadn't yet recognized the genius, the most lethal player that had entered the world of football. However, in the meeting rooms, Pep Guardiola and Johan Cruyff were examining closely. They didn't just recognize the sheer talent, but knew they had acquired a weapon. Pep Guardiola believed that Lionel Messi is not just a player. He's a system, a team. He started designing a team built around Messi, a midfield that fed Messi that made him into a goal-scoring machine. Pep was bringing a revolution, and Messi was his motto, his flag, his agenda. Messi is untouchable. Guardiola said this in 2008, and this is true even up till now. Barcelona was preparing a cheat code, a teenager who would make legends question their skills. The signs were already there. He disgraced Juventus. He vanished past the defenders, and his overwhelming performance even made Juventus manager Fabio Capello wish to sign him, who said, "Who is this kid?" Barcelona refused. They knew the value of the lottery they possessed and wouldn't sell it for any offer. Then the hungry teenager faced the furious Chelsea in a Champions League match. Messi, with his simple yet uncanny skills, infuriated the defense so much that Del Horno received a red card after repeatedly fouling, and Messi walked off with an injured thigh. Nevertheless, he had made his mark and had brought the entire stadium to its feet. The English press stopped doubting and started whispering now. He faced Gaffe and scored a goal that shocked the footballing universe. Stole the ball from the half-line, glided past 3 to 4 defenders, faked a shot, left the keeper on the ground, and scored. This goal was identical to Maradona's goal that he scored in 1986. Barcelona won by 52. However, only the unreal goal was remembered, not the score. They faced Zaragoza in 2006 as well, an important match in which Ronaldinho was left off, and Messi took charge, and the opponents all met the same fate. He didn't score or assist, but he impacted. He led. He was the playmaker. The game revolved around him. We were watching the next era. As simple as he played, teams couldn't devise strategies to stop him. And coaches started to make strategies to control him and stop him. But he was unstoppable. He was a thunderstorm, a tornado, slowly tearing through everything in its path. However, no one was paying attention yet. They were watching, but they couldn't. They were watching history in the making. His true arrival, the real strike. The thunder won't come in an empty stadium or a training match, but it would come in football's most violent and brutal fixture, El Laico, against the $1 billion Galacticos. Messi, just 19 years old, would go to war now against one of the top clubs in the world. Ronaldo was losing his shine and Rijkaard was under pressure and was injured. The veterans looked tired. Barcelona was trembling. It was on the brink of a fall. Valdez, Xavi, and Iniesta still had hope, though just hope can't win you matches. Camp Nou was becoming silent. The media said, "The magic is dying." So, how did Messi just acquire it? Now, Real Madrid wasn't just a team. It was the team. It was a $1 billion plus empire. It had the stars, the idols, and the warriors. David Beckham, Ruud van Nistel, Roy, Gaudi, Raul, Iker, Casillas, and Sergio Ramos were all in Real Madrid. The lineup that was any team's worst nightmare. They don't come any bigger than this. El Laico is filled with drama, passion, anger, rage, and identity. Rijkaard made the call, and Messi was in the starting 11. He would play the biggest match ever against the champions in front of a storm of 90,000. He was up against experienced professionals who were feared and loved with passion. Messi playing against them was like throwing a deer into a lion's den. Messi did not call a press conference on match day or do anything dramatic. He came early, laced his boots, and trained, focused, determined. Messi was a menace for Madrid since the whistle blew. He started the match as a left winger, but was everywhere, right, left, or in the middle, threatening Madrid all along. Madrid scored the first goal in the 5th minute, but Messi responded within minutes by scoring at the 11th minute. Ronaldo saw Messi making a run and passed him the ball. Messi received, cut the ball with his magic, scored a banger. He scored an equalizer against the most complete defenders like it was nothing. The crowd was electrified. Madrid realized they weren't against a normal teenager. They were against an animal hungry. Another golazo. Messi again replied with a beautiful shot that went right through Ramos, past Casillas and into the net. He didn't celebrate, just jogged back, committed. Madrid tried different strategies to stop him. They tried pocketing him but failed to do so, and he floated past his rivals. The second half started, and the crowd intensified. The players became more furious and focused. Gaudi took a free kick, through which Sergio Ramos scored a goal in the 73rd minute with a stunning header. The clock was ticking. Everyone thought Real Madrid had won. Barcelona's wonder kid couldn't do anything. At the 90th minute, Ronaldinho passes the ball to Messi, cutting through defenders. Messi receives the ball in the box. He dodged both the hungry defenders, Ramos and Cannavaro, leaving them with no chance to stop him, and then scores against on one the best goalkeeper, Casillas, with his left foot, the magic foot, and Barcelona was back in the game. It was a miracle by a 19-year-old. Every time Madrid thought they had it, Messi brought Barcelona on par alone, single-handedly, 3-3 hat-trick. There was silence for a second in the stadium, and then the fans were roaring. They were on their feet. They had just witnessed a miracle. A young Messi had brought Barcelona to a draw all by himself against the highly paid Real Madrid. It was Leo's first hat-trick, and that too against the top legends, the best defenders, midfielders and attackers in the game, full of skill and experience. But they stood no. It was a draw. But the fans, the media, the managers, and the players were all shocked at what they had just seen. Football had just changed, and it was a beautiful change. The next day, the people weren't talking about Sergio Ramos's header or even Ronaldinho's skills and plays. Who and what were they talking about then? Messi makes Madrid kneel sport. A star is born in Barcelona. El Pay, the next Maradona. No, the first Messi marker. The press, the people, and the fans all talked about Lionel Andres Messi. Football pundits reviewed his third goal from every angle, watched its beauty, gave reviews, and are still stunned. YouTube clips and videos of Messi's goal were making rounds on the internet, and the world was watching the biggest footballing star in his prime start his journey. Things changed at Camp Nou as well. Now the belief that Iniesta, Xavi, and Valdez had was backed by a weapon, a cheat code. It was backed by Lionel Messi. There was a ray of hope, a light at the end of the tunnel for Barcelona because of this miracle kid. The seniors saw him with respect. A star is born, said El Pa, a Spanish media outlet. Not only was Barca happy, but the whole world was enjoying this special player who had made history. Ronaldo, who was once Messi's idol and favorite player, said about Messi that he's the most special player I've ever seen. These comments by players who were so experienced that they had achieved everything and were at the end of their careers spoke volumes of how special Messi was since the very beginning. After years, Casillas talked about this night and admitted that night we realized this kid wasn't just talented, he was a monster in disguise. Barcelona, which was slowly fading, was brought back by Messi. He was now the present and the bright future of Barcelona. In the middle of all this recognition, appreciation, and fame, you'd expect Messi to be going places and showing off his success. However, in line with his humble and silent personality, he trained normally the next day, like he had not just made the top players in the game or struck. He gave no interviews or parades. A journalist asked him about his first hat-trick and he hesitated. "I was just trying to help the team." That is Messi, the best in the world, but humble. No drama and no noise. Just hard work, burning desire, and sheer purpose. After the game, Barca changed strategies. Messi had more central roles. He played as a playmaker rather than a winger. Barcelona started becoming Messi's team, and he would move on in the future and take his team to places and show it heights of success. At Camp Nou, the chants changed from chanting Ronaldo's name to songs about Messi. Something big was happening, and a change was coming. He was a leader, but not the one who wears an armband or gives speeches. He did give speeches, but most of the time he led with his game. He created chances, made plays, and most importantly, led with humility. How will this kid move on to become an 8-time Ballon d'Or winner, a World Cup champion, and the most complete player in football history? It wasn't just God-gifted talent, but the talent was backed by hard work, commitment, and consistency. Ronaldinho transferred to Milan. Messi became the new number 10 of Barcelona. Since then, number 10 became associated with Messi. Every kid, no matter where in the world, would want the number 10 jersey with Messi engraved on its back, just like it was engraved on the hearts of the millions of Messi fans around the world. This success that he has achieved wasn't overnight. He worked in silence, didn't publicize on social media or any platform. But he trained in the scorching heat of Argentina, always arrived early at training, and still now, even in the peak of his career, when he had completed everything, he is the first to arrive at training, which shows his love for the sport. Messi played 4 FIFA World Cups, even went into the quarterfinal once and the final once, but lost. And still, he did not give up, and then prepared a team, or shall we say, a pride of lions, which he led and won the most prestigious trophy of football with the FIFA World Cup. In the years that followed Messi's first Alajuelense, he went on to become the all-time top scorer in Alajuelense history. He carried his team several times, clutched countless games, but never disappointed the badge on his chest or the fans in his heart. To understand the level of Messi, it is imperative to highlight the fact that he has gotten standing ovations in his rival stadium. That's why Messi isn't just a player. He is a legacy. Messi doesn't play football. Messi is football. It's not possible to talk about football and not mention Messi. For years, football belonged to Pelé, Zidane, and Maradona. But on the 10th of March, 2007 inches Camp Nou, Messi created history, and he must have thought, it's my turn. Football belongs to him now. Whatever haters might say FIFA favors Messi, or that his matches are rigged, the truth stands that a kid with growth hormone deficiency came into the world of football, and with sheer dedication, immense hard work mixed with talent, went on to win 8 Ballon d'Ors, 35 titles with Barcelona, most Man of the Match awards in World Cup history, most goals for a single club, most goals in a calendar year, over 350 assists, and more than 800 career goals. Now that's a legacy that can never be forgotten. He blessed the game. I always had the dream of becoming a professional footballer. I never thought about being the best or breaking records. I just wanted to play. He not only became a professional football player, but also became the best, the GOAT. And it all started with a dream. Lionel Andres Messi. There can never be another one.